Welcome back to the Video Vibes Limited. In this video, we'll be looking at a brief history and foundation of SWOPA, Sirigu Women Organization for Pottery and Arts. Here we comes. This is SWOPA surroundings. We have just approached the entrance entering into the main area. That's the background of SWOPA. You can see the beautiful backgrounds, the wall painted with the traditional colors. All this wonderful work was done by the women of Sirigu. You can see a local building. Here is the outlook of SWOPA.
This is aimed at creating an enabling environment for businesses to exhibit their full potentials and also to compete with businesses on the international market. SWOPA is one of such entities that has benefited from the strategic use of evidence-based advocacy.
It is a women's organization set in 1997 by the founder, Melanie Kasise.
A year after my retirement from Ghana Education Service, so I went back to my village to help the women put up that. So I'm the founder of SWOPA. Sirigu is known for pottery from time immemorial, and many people would come to buy pottery from Sirigu and resell it at the various markets around the region. Others also, the Sirigu women would normally take some of their pottery and take them to other villages to play barter. That is, they gave their pottery out for an exchange of millet or corn or rice for their family. So that is what they used to do. Then we saw that gradually it was waning because a woman could take a pot to the market to sell. By the end of the day, she would have to sell it for much less because the end of the day was coming and she had no food for the people in the home, so she had to sell it at a throwaway price.
She started initially with 54 women who are into basket weaving, pottery, and wall designs. That is the initial crafts they were doing.
What we are doing now is the women make their pottery, and they can make their pottery in the homes and bring it to SWOPA and then sell it.
Tourists who visited the center wished they could carry away the murals on the walls. So we did that by introducing canvas painting.
Some people come and they say, oh, we like your pots. How do you make it? So we get the women to come and make workshops with the people who are interested.
The absence of electricity made it impossible for members of the Sirigu Women's Organization for Pottery and Arts to meet demand and not being able to expand production capacity, product quality, and standard. But with the help of BUSAC Fund, SWOPA has been placed on the national grid, making it possible for members to use modernized tools and equipment to improve upon the quality of their products.
When we started that project, so one of the biggest problems we had was electricity. And so the women know, especially during this rainy season, they are busy on their farms. But we saw that if they got electricity, they would be able to work on their farms and then come to work also in SWOPA in the evening.
Most tourists who came those days would wish to stay longer or do other activities, but the heat will drive them away.
Challenges they do face when there was no electricity in the community.
The light was not here. We can't sit comfortably to do our work. Normally we sweat, so we can't concentrate. We always run out. When we are doing pottery, we run out, and then the time we return, the pottery will be, they will dry, and we can't polish them well.
When it comes to sales, it was very low because people going into our sales room, it was very hot. They couldn't even stand the heat. They will have to come out. So they don't have the time to look through the products and take what they wanted until we got the light to the place by the help of BUSAC Fund.
What I did originally, we got solar electricity and we were on that until when we saw that very often it went off and on. We were very fortunate to come into contact with BUSAC. Then BUSAC gave something for advocacy.
The association conducted a detailed research to investigate why they are still not connected to the national grid after the first action and recommended proposals. After the research was conducted, the association organized stakeholders meetings with chiefs and other groups to sensitize them on the action. Members were trained to ignore them with the necessary skills for the advocacy action.
The first thing we did before going through these people was an advocacy training. After the advocacy training, various activities were taken. That is the dialogue, post-dialogue, and others.
We and the women, we came to the Euro radio here. We spoke about our problem, the women spoke and sang songs and so forth.
Groups learn how to do association building. They learn to better think through processes. And these are all training processes that help the private sector, and that in the long run will help to grow the economy like we say.
The process of advocacy is undulating. Thus, members were faced with a few challenges during the process.
After that, BUSAC came again and said, have you succeeded? We said no. So what we did was a second advocacy was organized. 2000, we went to the assembly, we spoke to different people.
BUSAC advised them to open up dialogue with the district assembly, and they came. We as an assembly, ostensibly created through an LI, we have some mandates to function, the basic of which is delivery, to enable our people from wherever they are to be able to organize themselves and carry out economic, income generating activities for the per capita income to at least grow.
Fortunately for us, by 2012, we got electricity.
The use of evidence-based advocacy paid off. Sirigu Center is now connected to the national grid. The association members have also realized that for an advocacy action to be achieved, there is need for massive participation and total commitment.
When they came, we liaised them with the Ministry of Energy. Even though we did the technical aspect, the taking of the measurement to their old site and to the new site, and we processed to the Ministry of Energy. So God being so good, they heard our requests and they honored it. So when he came, we also followed it up with the process. That is why, as at now, you go there, you see light.
If they hadn't someone to be pricking them, for them to also be injecting some remembrance, music into us, we might have forgotten of them. Through that, some other organizations also came. So where are you from? BUSAC. Right now, as I talk to you, less than a week ago, through BUSAC, some shea butter extraction outfit in the same Sirigu got electricity connected.
I was chairperson of the board for this senior secondary school, which is just close by. And anytime I was advocating for the electricity, it was for SWOPA and the senior secondary school, because they did a lot of things, examination and everything with other places. So we were fortunate to get the electricity to the senior secondary school. And so it was much easier for us to draw the line from the senior secondary school to our place. Thanks to God, thanks to BUSAC.
Today, if you go in there and see the development, they are even into the hospitality industry. SWOPA used to be the only one single major enterprise around. And from the time we came as a district to now, they've gone very high up.
The association members are also aware that advocacy requires identification and understanding.
Cannot do it alone. So I look at BUSAC as the coordinating director for delivery patterns to nations.
Overnight. I'm a student from the U.S. and I'm on a research grant studying wall painting, and I spent 4 months in Ghana last year, and I spent a month living in Sirigu studying wall painting, and I'm really interested in cultural revival. And so it made sense to come to Sirigu, where there's a lot of art going on for the sake of tradition and history, and where there's also art going on for the sake of tourism.
My name is Dahi, I'm from Ireland, and I'm on a visit to Ghana for 3 weeks. I have never done pottery before or painted. I intended to do some painting in Ireland, but I never did it. Yeah.
I don't see any country under the planet that hasn't come to SWOPA. UK, USA, and so forth. It's from New York that Kofi Annan and his wife came to SWOPA in 2002.
It's a great place to bring people so as that they can learn a lot about Sirigu. They're very comfortable when they come here. The rooms have fans, etc. And there's lights here in this area, of course.
Inside the room here is cool enough. Visitors, when they come, they stay much longer. They go around twice, thrice, taking things of their choice. And I can say that now we get better sales than before. So we are so grateful to BUSAC.
All of this has been made possible by the Business Sector Advocacy Challenge Fund, BUSAC Fund, with support from their development partners, namely Danida, USAID, and the EU. BUSAC Fund continues to create an enabling environment for businesses to be a part with colleague businesses on the international.
We also expect that while we build the capacity of these associations, they would increasingly be able to manage on their own, because sometime, one day, the BUSAC would not be there, funded by Danida at least, and maybe also not other development partners, and they would have to manage with the capacity.
Comes a traditional home around SWOPA. This is a community whereby there's a lot of local buildings. These are cultural structures. That's where they rear their animals. There's a livestock inside. They're breeding for its young ones. This is the outlook of a traditional community inside Sirigu. This is the storage. We take a survey of a local building where they use wood and a lot of muddy soil to roof it. This local building is very, very risky in the rainy season. It do collapse sometimes and kill a lot of people in the community. Recently, this kind of roofing style have come to the community. I see a man cutting firewood. That's the source of fire for them for domestic consumption. This type of seas are very rich in providing blood, as believed by the people of Sirigu, and they normally welcome visitors with this kind of corn flour. They normally pour water in the flour and they will shake it for you to drink. They believe it's a very nutritious food for the community. Here is the cultural materials. You can see various types of pots. I see various types of pots and baskets. A lot of cultural materials you can buy. Baskets of different styles. I see leather materials are also in. Just to show you a few, there are a lot of things you can buy in SWOPA. These are traditional colors, and all this wonderful work is done by the women of Sirigu. You may consider subscribing to this channel. Subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I load up a new video. Thank you for watching this video. We love you all.